Wanted to take a few minutes today to address something that's happening throughout our industry, the medical aesthetics industry. And that's this uncertainty as to what your growth path should look like related to industry growth and consumer purchasing trends. And how does that relate to your marketing investments? So, screenshot that I have pulled up here is using a tool called Google Trends. What this is showing is a relativity chart of certain keyword searches throughout the United States going back to 2018. So, you can see leading up on this chart. So, the keywords that we have selected are laser hair removal near me, Botox near me, med spa near me, CoolSculpting near me, Semaglutide near me. Services that as a med spa, those are kind of some of the staple services, right? Sculpting devices, category keyword, Botox, laser hair, weight loss. And what we see on this chart is from 2018 up through 2021, a lot of growth and expansion in the industry and in searches. So on this relativity chart, this was climbing, climbing, climbing up until 2021. You see this drop. We had a drop here in COVID, which is that severe spike that you see down, but then a very aggressive rebound that lasted all the way through January of 2022. And you can see here, as soon as we reach 2022, for most of these keywords, the trend sort of changes, right? Botox near me, overall, just in terms of popularity of that being a search query that people perform in the US on a relativity chart, went down from its peak of April in 2021, where it was at a 100. So that was the peak on the relativity chart. The most popular that search has ever been was April of 2021, all the way down to a 59 here as of fall of 2024. And you see a little rebound here leading up to spring and March. But overall, that trend from 2021 on has been down. We look at the second term, laser hair removal. In July of 2021, that peaked at 64 on the relativity charts. That came all the way down to a 20 in the fall, rebounding here a little for the spring. You see the CoolSculpting example, it was a 25 there. So that was never as popular, you see, as like a Botox or laser hair, even through the COVID boom in terms of search behavior. But that went down from a 25 all the way now to an 8. Semaglutide, an interesting one here. We saw that spike. So that went from basically non-existent, semaglutide near me in 2021. And that spike actually happened in the spring of 23, where that was max popularity. And that's where we reached 32 on the relativity chart. And that's all the way down to a 21 now. The only keyword on here is actually the category keyword of med spa. I think that's just because more people now are lumping in some of these keywords into the category term. So they know if they're going for Botox or facial or maybe laser hair, they might actually just search med spa. So I think that's why you see that increasing. But all the other service keywords down versus 2021 and 2022 at those peaks. What does this mean for your med spa? The reason I wanted to share this and go over this on today's video is the implications that it makes related to your growth planning, your marketing investment, and your measurement for success. So here's one of the issues I see practices run into when they don't have great data specific to their marketing campaigns. So if you're marketing and advertising and you can track as much of that as possible, especially if you're doing direct response. So some of the stuff we've talked about in our videos, like running Facebook and Instagram ads and Google ads to generate new patient leads, those things are very measurable. But when you're spending money to advertise for new patient acquisition in a market that's slowed down by all available evidence, the industry is growing. I think there are more people doing this than ever, but it's not as hot as it was. Chris Balby mentioned this on our episode on social media at the end of last year. We had a COVID boom and a COVID spike post-COVID. That's trailed off on almost every service since then. So as a med spa, you might have had to market, especially if you were an established business already at that time, you might have had to become more aggressive with your marketing just to kind of maintain your status quo, to be extra aggressive to make sure that you're achieving growth in the face of decreasing search trends like this. So that's one key takeaway. Also, I think that one of the other mistakes we've talked about on this channel before is practice owners looking at their marketing investment and going, well, I'm spending all this money on marketing. Why am I kind of flatlined? I haven't even grown as to where I was last year. This is why you want to make sure you're measuring the effectiveness of your marketing efforts relative to the specific campaign, because it's very possible that you added 30, 50, $100,000 in monthly revenue, depending on your marketing investment. And that might have dropped off from other places, right? Word of mouth referrals, general search trends, all of that stuff is down. So your marketing sometimes can be supplementing losses that would be bigger. So it's kind of like trying to measure the economy. You can do a lot of things right, but there are so many factors at play that if the overall trends are kind of slowing, you're going to have to do more work and invest more heavily if your goal is to achieve growth. So I thought that was an interesting share for today, just to add some perspective to the current state of the market, especially looking at Google Trends and a relativity chart for search behavior dating back to the COVID boom through where we sit here in spring of 2025. This episode is brought to you by MedSpa Magic Marketing, my agency. We help med spas and aesthetics practices grow with more effective marketing strategies. And I know that's a vague phrase, right? It's a vague claim. So I have an offer for you. I offer this to any new prospects. If you're interested in exploring another marketing option, a new agency, or just getting into Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads for the first time, I'd love to show you why we're different, what we're doing for clients. And we can do that via a 1.5-hour planning session where I'll outline a specific marketing plan, and I'll give you all of the blueprints that we would implement if we were to do business together. Now, you can take that, use that on your own, hire someone else to help you execute it, or work with us. We really don't hold anything back on that strategy call, and I think you'll have a lot of confidence in how you manage your marketing investment moving forward, understanding some of the nuances that can help you implement more effective marketing strategies for your business. So if you want to do that, you can go to medspamagicmarketing.com.